Hey everyone, welcome to day 2 of the Q3 BNB Chain Hackathon workshop. I'm Liam, part of the social media team here at BNB Chain, and I'm going to be running you through today's workshop where we'll hear some exciting talks from exciting people. To start with, let's just start off with a quick summary of day 1. So yesterday we had a nice introduction to the sponsors and industry leaders about some of the cool things that they're doing in the industry. We heard from the likes of Thena, Hacken, Michelle, Sonoris, TUSD, Stakestone, and Dago Finance. Then we had Sarah from the BNB chain go over an intro into BNB chain. During the intro, she went over things like the mission, the different verticals, and the different incentives that we offer to builders and projects such as yourselves out there to support and grow your Web3 project. She then went on to give an introduction into this quarter's hackathon entitled Become a Champion Builder. This also covered some key information such as key dates, price pools, and a brief overview of the challenges, which is something that we'll dive into in a couple of minutes with Jimmy. So if you missed out on day 1's workshop, I recommend going back to our YouTube channel and giving it a watch over there. So with that said, let's get on today's workshop. So let me just run through today's agenda to get things kicked off, and then I'll hand it over to our speakers today. First up, we'll have a deep dive into the 20 challenge tracks, the wish list, and dev tools with our senior solutions architect, Jimmy, who's with me now. This will take about 30 minutes or so, and we'll also cover the submission guidelines and scoring criteria as well. Next on the agenda after that, we have a presentation by our friends at Spectre. They're going to be presenting a talk called Optimizing Your Development Process, How to Choose and Use the Right Tools. This again will take about another 30 minutes or so, and it'll be with Jackie, who's the co-founder, and Eric Yang, who's the head of engineering over at Spectre. So with that said, let me introduce you to and hand over to Jimmy. Take it away, please, Jimmy.
Thank you, Lam. So let me share my screen first. I'm going to introduce how the online hackathon looks like, how to apply, and the key dates. So again, in our Q2 hackathon, we are still using the DoraHacks as a platform. So you can find all the related information on the DoraHacks details in our hackathon page. And first, I'd like to give you some very high-level key dates, which is very important for users and also for the builders. And then I will go to the submission requirements and some of the participants need to pay attention to, and also how to upload your contracts, and also related information like the GitHub repo, deck, and short video to introduce your projects. And then I will go through the BNB chain track challenges. Actually, let me give you a background of why we want to put the BNB chain track challenges here. Is that we just to give you a high-level idea what the BNB chain is looking for. So we believe this could be a good references for your projects. Of course, you can explore different opportunities and different innovation solutions for this. And besides the BNB chain track challenges, we also have the sponsor challenges and developer toolkit, which will be very useful for you to find related information and support. Because the BNB chain is not only one chain, it also have the scaling solutions, the OPBNB, and also the BNB Greenfield. Of course, you can also participate in our discussions and also share your ideas. And this kind of the relationship information will be interesting to you. Okay, so let me go to the challenges first. Actually, you can also find this kind of the challenges in our GitHub repo. So if you go to the BNB chain, BNB chain Foundation, I'm sorry, the GitHub repo, you can find the community contribution, and the information is identical. I just put it here. So the challenges have multiple tracks. One is the AI tracks, and also the DePIN, the gaming and DeFi, and also decentralization infrastructure check. So if you go to each of them, you can find them. The structure is very similar. One is the main objectives and the goals, and also the challenge descriptions. So first, it will be the challenge on the AI-generated content platform, and we want to improve our AI content tokenization ecosystem and also improve the AI-generated content ecosystem. The DePIN also have some, challenges. We are looking for innovation solutions because we believe that the BOT, the blockchain of things on the greenfield, could be another thing that would be very interesting to the DePIN track. So the objective actually is to have a seamless data collection and storage, and also enhance the security reliability of IoT data. So we believe that as a storage network, the greenfield could be a very interesting platform that you can save and
Oh, Jimmy, I think you're on mute there. I think also you might need to double check the link.
Okay, sorry, it's my fault problem. Okay, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, got it.
Did you also get the correct link as well? I think that one was the previous one.
Oh, okay, got it. Sorry for the problem. Okay. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So here is the I just mentioned it's kind of the wishlist challenge. I just mentioned it can be found in our GitHub repo, and we do have the AI track and the gaming track and DeFi track, etc. So you can find the GitHub repo in our. You can put your messages in our comment section as well. So if you click the open comments here, you can find all the related information. Let me share this instead. So all the GitHub wishlist items are in the to-do list. And if you find any wishlist item are very interesting to you, of course, you can open it and put your ideas under the comments, and you can put the information here. Yeah, let me switch back to the. So I think the high-level steps will be: first, select your challenge according to to your interests, and also enter the challenges details enter the challenge details page, and I'll add your comments. I think the comments, the key information would be the solutions you want to provide or you want to solve. The more details, the better, and also it can also reach out to our Discord channel and to form your teams, and also if you can provide this kind of comments, other people can join in with you to identify the collaborations across different teams. So for the AI track and the game track, we just put the links here as well. So if you click this kind of link, you can go directly to the GitHub repo to find out the details. Imagination zone actually is another thing I want to highlight here, is that because I just mentioned earlier, the tracks actually is the references you can take to inspire you or inspire the team to help you to find the something that is very interesting to you. And if you find something different that is out of the challenge wish list, you can also go to our imagination zone and put your ideas there and to describe your ideas in the imagination zone. That's no problem, and it's also valid for the hackathon participation. And the sponsor also have their challenges. You can find the sponsor challenges here, and for example, the stack stone and mesh shell, this kind of information is also eligible for our hackathon. And sorry, for the developer toolkit, it's part of the document site. You can go to go to our doc site to find the information. And for example, the BSC faucet and OPBNB documentation, good for Greenfield, and also the API and SDK. Because for the Greenfield, it's not only the RPC but also the SDK. For example, the TypeScript SDK or JavaScript SDK. If you have any technical issues or technical challenges, you can reach out to us, and through either from the GitHub or through our Discord channel. So this kind of things we can provide the necessary tech support and also help you to find the solutions for that. Yeah, I think I may missed the submission requirements. The submission requirements actually, you can go to here, and also, of course, your application must be deployed or connected to the BNB chain ecosystem. It's not only for the OPBNB, but also the BSC and Greenfield. And shared artifacts like the GitHub, of course, your project must be open sourced, and your deck and demo video is a must, so that the people, the team can understand what you're trying to solve. And the problem statement is very important. And a tweet and also the contract addresses has to be shared, and tweet your projects, tag with the build on BNB chain, and of course other related information that can helpful to understand the projects is also very helpful. This is the key date. Because this is the Q3 projects, we started from July 23rd and to August 8th. So this kind of you have to pay attention to the very important timeline to prepare your work. This is the submission time, which is from today, from the July 31st to August the 15th. We are going to select the top 10 projects, and the top 10 projects are going to do a demonstration. Online demonstration with the judges, and the winner announcement will be in September. Of course, after the winner announcement, the incubation will be another thing. We want to have a deeper connection with the projects, so that we can provide deeper communication with the developers, and we can also provide the feedbacks. For example, how to go to market strategy, and what kind of the incentives or infrastructure service providers can also be recommended to the team. And the rewards, I think, is total rewards, price rewards is 500,000, and for each track they can also have their different rewards. Scoring criteria, I think, is very similar to the previous hackathon in Q2. So we will go through this kind of the perspectives or criteria to identify the top 10 and also the winner projects. Yeah, let me. Yep, I think that's it for the hackathon introduction. And any problem, you can also reach out to our Discord channel. Our tech team can help you. Yeah. There?
Oh, sorry, I couldn't get it unmuted then. Thanks for that, Jimmy. Appreciate that. Do we have the guys from Aspecta next, right? Here we go. Okay, cool. Just checking this out. Hey, Jack, how's it going?
Yeah, great. Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, awesome. What I'll do is I'll just give a quick re-intro for you, and then you can get started. So, first up, thanks for Jimmy for running through the challenge tracks and submission guidelines. Next up, as we previously mentioned, we're going to have both Jackie, the co-founder, and Derek Yang, the head of engineering of Aspecta. Jack is with me now, as you can see. They'll be running through a presentation called Optimizing Your Development Process, How to Choose and Use the Right Tools for the next part of this workshop. So take it away, please, Jack.
Yeah, thanks, Dan, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Jack. I'm the co-founder of Aspecta. Before we actually starting the workshop, I would like to do a quick introduction about Aspecta. So first, I want to welcome everyone to join the BNB Chain Q3 Hackathon. I hope you all have fun building and pushing the boundary of Web3 innovation at the same time. So Aspecta, we are the first tokenized productivity network powered by AI to facilitate developer reputation building, monetization, and bootstrap your project with community consensus. So now we are collaborating with BNB Chain to launch the BNB Chain Builder Economy. So please go to bnb.aspecta.id, where you could create your builder reputation by just like link GitHub and other social accounts. Very easy in a few clicks. And then you could get staked by the community user, keep building, and earn rewards. You could also create a reputation profile for your project as well to participate in the economy system as well. So for, BNB Chain Builder Economy, it will be the all-in-one place and also the comprehensive entry points for you to keep engaging with the BNB chain in the long term. Connect with other builders, demonstrate your building journeys, your building achievement, access to diverse developer opportunities, rewards, and beyond. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and look forward to growing BNB chain together. Next, I will give the stage to Aspecta's head of engineering, Derek, to talk about optimizing your development process, how to choose and use the right tools.
Oh, here we go. Here we got Derek.
Okay, let me share my screen just real quick.
No worries. Take your time. Thanks for that, Jack, by the way.
Thank you, Lime.
Okay, is the screen share working?
Yeah, I see it loading now. Yep, there you go.
Okay,
you, thanks.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Derek from Aspecta, and today I'm really excited to chat about with you some handy tools for developing smart contracts. Okay, so here's the plan. So we will start with the languages you can use to write smart contracts, and then we'll dive into Remix, this awesome IDE that perfects for beginners. And by the end of section 2, you should be able to deploy your first proof of concept smart contract. And after that, we'll check out some frameworks that will help you set up your own development environment, and plus some additional SDKs for integrating your smart contracts into a DApp. And lastly, I'll go over some APIs and tools that's pretty useful for querying data on blockchain. Okay, so today we'll stick to EVM languages. So first up, we'll have Solidity. It's the OG and super popular with a syntax similar to C++. And it's also pretty friendly to anyone with coding experience. Plus, there's a huge community out there to help you out, so you don't have to worry about running into any issues. And next, we'll have Vue, which is a more low-level and assembly-like language. It's great for optimization and often used as an intermediate language between Solidity and raw bytecodes. But the readability is not as comparable with Solidity. And finally, there's Viper. It's a bit experimental and has a Python vibe, so it focuses on security. It's actually built to help solve some security issues in Solidity. And but since the language is quite new, so the ecosystem is not as extensive as Solidity yet. Despite we have talked about 3 different languages, but for all beginners and actually most smart contract developers, I would say just stick with Solidity. It's got the best community support, and unless you're an experienced hackers who seek to who are feeling adventures and have a clear idea on what you want from the alternative languages, you can try out the other ones. Okay, so here's an example contract written in Solidity. You can see that the grammar is basically just the same as C++. So if you have coding experience in C++, it would be a pretty smooth transition. Okay, next we'll talk about Remix, your best friend for building your first proof of concept. So Remix is a fantastic for anyone who hasn't set up a development environment yet. So, it basically covers everything from development to deployment, testing, all the way to debugging. So it's basically a one-stop shop. And since the IDE is completely online, so you don't have to install anything on your local computer. And it can also pull in repos from GitHub. So if you already have a project on GitHub, it would be super convenient to just import the project. And plus, it even has a GPT bot to help you debug. That's one feature that really helped me a lot when I first started writing smart contracts. And a good thing about Remix is that you can connect crypto wallets such as MetaMask. And once connected, you can deploy your contract just like a normal transaction. If you're doing that with your pure coding, you'll spend a lot of time setting up your wallet credentials and building the transaction and estimating the gas fee. But with MetaMask connected, basically it'll have you handled pretty well. And once you have deployed the contract, you can just call your contract like directly on the panel left side. Okay, so sometimes you will need to call a function of a deployed contract. In this case, there are 2 different situations. If the contract is verified, you will see this green check mark on the Explorer, meaning that the code of the contract is completely open sourced, and the most convenient way to call the contract would be just to call it directly from the Chain Explorer. But there are occasions when the contract is not verified, meaning that you do not have access to the source code. In this case, if you want to call the function of the contract, you will at least need the API of the function you want to call. API is, you can simply consider it just function signatures. So it's in this example, I know that the contract has an ASP verification code method, but I don't know the rest of the code. All I know is that it has this method. So I can simply just load the contract with this minimal API, which contains only the verification code I need, and then load it into the contract and just get the verification code. However, in this example, I'm calling a view function. So a view function does not change states on blockchain, and therefore it does not require any gas fee. If you are calling a write function, then you'll need to set up your own private key and create the complete transaction. So, and the code would be a bit more complicated than what you are seeing here. And another option to call a non-verified contract is to use Remix, which is why I call it your best friend when you're a beginner. And Remix comes in super handy for calling functions in contracts because you can easily load it in Remix. Just load the API right here, but still you need to know the API. And you can interact with the deployed contract without all the coding hassle. And since it's connected to your wallet, you can also call the right functions just like any other normal transaction. Okay, so far for Remix. Basically, Remix is great for quick demos or proof of concepts, but it can struggle with bigger projects. So eventually, you'll need to set up your own environment, which is what we'll cover in the next section. Okay, so to develop a production-level DApp, you will need a solid setup for compilation, deployment, testing, and probably other stuff. And once all that's ready, you'll need libraries that include gas-optimized practices to kickstart your own build. Okay, so we'll go over these one by one. For compilation and deployment, let's chat about Hardhat and Truffle. Both are pretty awesome for building smart contracts and make testing and deployment a breeze, whether on a local chain mainnet or testnet. But Hardhat has a really active community on Discord, and it supports TypeScript, which is great for writing tests and deployment scripts. Truffle has been around for quite some time, and you can access more resources around the web, but it's actually sunsetting, meaning that there will be no further updates. So from a long-term perspective, Hardhat might be the better choice. Well, both Hardhat and Truffle support native testing. If you've got a project that requires heavy testing or has very complicated case, check out Foundry. It's lightning fast and lets you write tests in Solidity so that you won't have to switch contexts. And there's also Ape, a testing framework in Python for Python fans. Of course, you can also adopt a mixed solution, such as Hardhat for compilation and deployment, plus Foundry for testing. It's actually pretty popular among recent projects. Okay, now let's talk about libraries. Libraries enables you to directly import or edit commonly used contract standards, templates, or snippets. And so before you implement anything by yourself, make sure you check out existing libraries to avoid reinventing the wheel. So for the first one, OpenZeppelin, it's a crucial library for secure smart contract development. This library is key for secure smart contract development, and it gives you very solid implementations for common contracts and utilities, and for things like access control and upgradability. Basically, it covers 90% of what you'll need for a DApp. And there's also gas-optimized Solidity snippets in Solidity and Soulmate. If OpenZeppelin happens to not provide what you are seeking for, you can also check these two out for luck. And finally, if your contract requires some tricky math like exponentials or logarithms, also check out PRB math for some advanced fixed point math operations. Okay, so this is a pretty simple example of how OpenZeppelin is used. Basically, it's all about inheritance. For instance, if you want to create an NFT that's ownable, all you need to do is just inherit ERC721 and ownable. That's it. And you can also add other features like upgradability and access control through inheriting from OpenZeppelin. And of course, every DApp needs a user interface. You don't want the users to just call the contract directly. And if your DApp does not require heavy backend, you can actually just implement the contract and the front end. In this case, you'll actually use the blockchain itself as your backend. And in this case, you can use either Web3.js or Ethers.js to interact with the contract. They're both great for JavaScript. Or if your DApp requires more complex features that involves using your own backend, such as recording the historical prices, there's also Web3 PY for Python and Web3J for Java developers. In either cases, to interact with your contract, you'll need a JSON RPC endpoint. You can use it for basic methods like checking balances and estimating gas fees. And you can find public endpoints or sign up with a node provider for your own. But however, JSON RPCs only provide very simple methods. And if you're looking for something more advanced, you'll probably need to go to other API providers. For example, if you want to extract only the ERC20 token transfer history of a wallet, that's actually an API provided by Morales. And so before you want to implement everything, make sure you check out their API documents to see if they have what you need. And finally, if you can't find the API you need but don't want to sift through the raw blockchain data, another solution is to check out data query platforms like the Graph and Dune. They basically let you query on-chain data like you would with a local database. The Graph uses GraphQL, which is super efficient. You get only what you ask for. And the Dune has a SQL-like interface. That's great for analytics. Yeah. Here are two examples of using the Graph and Dune. Okay, so that's all I've got for my part, and I hope you all have a blessed coding. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Derek. Appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time to run through the presentation. Okay, awesome. So apologies. That's about it for this workshop. So thanks to Jimmy, Jack, and Derek for running through each of their talks. And thank you to all of you out there who took the time to watch. If you did miss anything any time, maybe you joined late, just so you're aware, this will be saved as a recording on our YouTube channel for you to rewatch at any time. Also, in the same breath, it'll be on Twitter as well, saved as a recording. We'll be back with our next workshop on the 30th of July, which will be at 1 p.m. UTC time. In this workshop, we'll be joined by Glacier, Foreverland, and Aggregata. So be sure to join us then too. And just in the meantime, get building, and don't forget to submit your projects via our Dora hack page from the 31st of July. And then you'll have up until the 15th of August to submit your submissions. The link to that page will be available via our socials and blog, so be sure to look out for that. So thanks again, good luck with your building, and see you in our next workshop.